Hi, it's Catalina here from LoanSense. I've been focusing a lot of my recent videos on news updates. Today's video is going to be focused on an educational content around what happens if you default or go delinquent on your student loans and end up in the CADVR system, or CAVR system. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. We've gotten this question from quite a few loan officers, but also from borrowers. So from borrowers, the question will be like, well, I defaulted on my student loan more than 7 years ago, so it's not showing up in my credit report, so I should be good to go, right? Well, unfortunately, that news is no, because what will happen is when your loan officer, after they give you the pre-approval and all that good stuff, they'll put you through underwriting, and in that underwriting process, they will discover that you're in this federal database called CADVRs, in which they compile all, basically if you owe the government money, like if you owe IRS debt, various federal debt, you will be listed in that system. And as a result, even if it's not on your credit report, it's been past 7 years, there is no statute of limitation in terms of how long your student loans will follow you, even if it falls off of your credit, which means that being in that system will make closing on a home, if you need home financing, impossible. So there are 3 things if you are in default or delinquency that you can do, or if you're a loan officer, that you can let borrowers know about. Of course, we can help borrowers directly. If you have any questions, we can directly assess your situation. There is the action called student loan rehabilitation. That generally is a 9-month period. So that would literally mean it would be impossible to close now if you go for student loan rehabilitation. The good thing about going through student loan rehabilitation is that it will essentially take off prior late payments from your credit report and let you rehabilitate your student loan, which, by the way, since we're in pause now, everybody qualified to basically rehabilitate if they were in default before, you were automatically rehabilitated through this CARES Act time. So, and these months of $0 payments count towards rehabilitation. So that's really good news. But in order to get your student loans in good standing out of CADVRs, you still need to, acknowledge you have these student loans and get set up on a payment plan, even if we're in $0 payments right now. So you can call the person that is managing your student loans, whoever that servicer is, and make arrangements to go in rehabilitation if you don't want to close immediately, or if you've already been unable to close now anyways. And then there's option 2, which is consolidation, which takes a shorter amount of time. Consolidation is literally repackaging all your student loans into one new loan, starts the payment terms over. You can still enroll into income-based repayment with both options, by the way. And you can do this in about 2 months' time. Sometimes it takes a little more, but you can accelerate the process by, of course, calling. And consolidation obviously does not erase prior delinquent payments, but it allows you to get out of default sooner. So that's also an option for borrowers. If you're trying to close sooner rather than later, that is the option I'd go with, is consolidation. And we can get your payments into affordable monthly payment amount, because you can still get into a program based on your income. Consolidation or rehabilitation have quite a few pieces of paper that need to be filed to enroll in such programs, but it's important that you do them, because if you just try to talk to the servicer who's managing it, they're going to give you a lot of confusing information, and they're going to try to draft up a plan for you, and they're going to try to get you to pay as much as possible. So be aware of that. If you've gone into collections, they're going to try to get you to pay as much as possible. So just know your rights, that we do have this consolidation process, and we also do have the income-based repayment as well as income-driven plans that allow you to lower your payment. We've had borrowers who came to us and said their collector, their servicer told them they have to pay $900 a month. And there's no way their income could have supported a $900 a month payment. But we helped them rehabilitate and enroll into a plan that was about $100 a month. And of course, that has a huge impact also on the debt to income to be able to close, right? So we can work not just with borrowers, but with lenders for them to help understand this process and what the projected payment's going to be so that a borrower can go through underwriting within about a 2-month time period. However, with consolidation or in student loan default, we can never guarantee or know 100% the timeline, because once we enroll your paperwork, not only does your student loan servicer take time to process it, but then it takes time to get out of the CAVIERS system or CAVIERS system. And that system, there's really there's nobody to call. It's not like it's a credit reporting agency where you can call Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, right? There's nobody to call. So it takes time to update, and you just have to wait for it to update, unfortunately. So those are the two options: default, rehabilitation, and consolidation. And whatever's best for you depends on your timeline to close, as well as what impacts you want it to have on your credit, right? Consolidation has greater impacts on your credit because it doesn't take off prior late payments. But if it's already been past 7 years, then you're good. But know that if you consolidate and start a new loan and then you stop paying again, that's going to be reflected on your credit again for 7 years. So just know that. And then lastly, of course, there's always settling your student loan, which is the third option. The reason to talk about this last is because this is oftentimes the least affordable mechanism to resolve your student loans, especially for those that want to buy a house. Let's say you owe $20,000 of student debt and they let you settle it for some amount that's slightly lower than that. Most people don't have lump sum cash to pay that. So that's why it's not really a viable option for most people, but there is an option to try to work with your collector and your servicer to understand what that amount is and if you could settle it. But if that's not viable, I definitely go with rehabilitation or consolidation. If you yourself find yourself in a situation in which you want to buy a house and you're like, oh, it's on my credit report, I'll be fine, I would recommend you deal with your student loans sooner rather than later, rather than find a house, put in a contract, go through financing, and then realize, oh my God, it's going to come up in this system and I can't close, right? And if you're a loan officer dealing with people that have their student loans in default, we're 100% here to assist them. We can give them advice based on their personal situation. There's also implications if people are married, what their payment's going to be. We can help people get a completely free analysis. Our software can do that. But of course, if they want to move forward and they're serious about closing, we can also help them answer any questions, enroll their paperwork, deal with their servicers. We are on standby to help. I hope this information has been helpful. I will make one other video this week with some news update, but I just wanted to make sure to address this pressing question we've heard quite a lot in the last couple months. So let us know if you like this content. Please like it. If you find anybody else that this content would be useful to, please go ahead and share the link. Subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate your support. And again, if you have student loans, we can give you a completely free plan at myloansense.com. If you're a loan officer, we welcome you to book a strategy session with one of our sales executives, and we can't wait to show you how our system can help you close more loans. Have a great day.